that she should be reimbursed for.
But she decided
Excuse
to do
me,
that on
I
her own.
am making.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You were aware the refrigerator didn't work according to your own testimony. You told the defendant to pick out the refrigerator. You knew there was something wrong with the bathtub. You knew there was something wrong with a hot water heater. Per your own testimony, you knew these
No,
things.
I replaced the water.
Ma'am,
I'm sorry.
I am giving
I apologize.
my decision.
I'm sorry.
So if I look at the receipts that were provided by Ms. Carmichael, Ms. Abbott, you need to have your camera on.
I'm trying to be humble. Sorry.
That reaches, now her receipts total $1911.79. Okay.
Cool.
I know both parties made repairs to the home in different ways.
I have way more than repairs than that.
Ms. Abbott.
She's a crook. I'm sorry.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
All right, so Gail Abbott and Camille Carmichael, I'm going to hear your case. It is the plaintiff's burden of proof on the case in chief. Any counterclaims is the tenant's burden of proof. All right. I'm going to start with Ms. Abbott. Ms. Abbott, tell me why you filed this dispossessory. What is the basis for the filing? No, you're on mute. Oh, before we do that, I'm going to swear everyone in. So we'll both need to be unmuted. Raise your right hands. You swear or affirm the testimony you shall give shall be the truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Abbott, you need to put yourself off mute. I heard you, Ms. Carmichael. You can lower your hand.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't realize the case was not at the court, and I'm at the courthouse.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Now, and have you raised your right hand, Ms. Abbott?
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you shall give shall be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Are both parties ready to have their hearing now?
Yes.
Yes. All right. And if I do, you might need to take some breaks to take any consent agreements that come through. But just so you know that ahead of time, all right? All right, so let's start with Ms. Abbott. What is the basis for your filing of the dispossessory warrant?
Okay. This past March, I decided not to renew the lease for Camille Carmichael, Carmelitia Klein. She has two names, at 2323 Wellington Circle, Lithonia, Georgia, which will end on June 30th, 2024. On March 8th, 2024, I emailed and mailed.
Hold on. Well, give me 1 second. So okay. The lease ends when? June, what was the date?
June 30th, 2024. Okay.
All right. All right, continue. Thank you.
Okay. On March 8th, 2024, I emailed and mailed a letter stating my decision to Camille Carmichael. I decided to inform her about this ahead of time so that she would have more time to find a suitable home.
Okay.
The lease agreement that we entered on June 4th, 2023 states that she would pay $775 for rent each month, starting in July 2023 and ending in June 2024, as well as a $25 late fee if the rent is paid after the 6th day of the month. And a security deposit was not requested. I have a copy of that lease. The reason I am here is because she decided that she would not and has not paid the rent due and late fees for April 2024 and May 2024, now totaling $1,600. The reason she stated that she was not paying.
Tell me the reason she stated.
Okay,
I want to talk about your $1,600. So for April, you're saying that's $775 plus a $25 late fee.
Yes.
Okay, and May $775 plus a $25 late fee.
Yes.
Okay, and that's how you got to the $1,600.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, these are text messages from her. She said, "Good morning."
No, I don't need to know about text messages yet.
Okay. Well, this is related.
You've told me that she has not, basically you're telling me that you filed this for non-payment of rent and she hasn't paid rent in April and May. You filed April 17th.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now we are still on the case in chief. The case in chief is solely about non-payment of rent. All right. So Ms. Carmichael, is rent $775 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is there a $25 late fee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you pay April rent?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I said I wasn't gonna work, but I'm gonna have to work.
Hold on. And did you pay May?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, moving towards the counterclaim.
Your Honor, can I say something? The reason why I didn't pay?
Yes, that's what I'm getting to. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead. Tell me the reason why you didn't pay.
The reason why I did not pay in 2017 on October 21st, I moved in 2322 Wellington Circle. Okay, my deposit was $114,400, $1,400. Myself, I was living there. My lease was up in 2018. I did not receive a lease from Ms. Gale until last year of 2023. I was there and I pay my rent all this while. Okay, so we had a conversation and she said she don't have the money to give me back when I'm ready to leave. So I told her, well, okay, that's fine. I can leave out my deposit. And I sent her a message stating that I still have my lease from 2017. I submit all of that to
Remember what I said at the beginning, security deposits don't come into play right now because you're still on the property.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I didn't know that, Your Honor.
Okay. And so tell me what else?
Yes, so, and another thing too, while living there, you know what all the problems come about is because the hot water, it wasn't working for like a whole month.
What wasn't working? The hot water?
The hot water wasn't working. She sent someone to fix it. He claimed that he fixed it. It wasn't working. I reach out to him. You know, I tell him I'll just say text message. You don't need text message. Anyway, it didn't fix. I hire someone to pay it. I pay someone $200 to fix the water heater. The tub was supposed to fix in 2017. It still didn't.
Hold on. For the hot water heater, you said you paid $200 to fix
Yes,
it?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Did you provide any receipts?
Yes, I sent all of that, and I even had
Hold on. Who did you send it to? The court or Ms. Abbott or both?
No, the court. I sent it to the court, and I even in the house I had. in the house. I purchased my own refrigerator because she couldn't get one. And
Hold
a
on, let me
stove.
find, you said you submitted it to the court, so
Yes, ma'am.
give me a moment to locate that.
Forgive me, Judge.
document.
She's not telling the truth.
Hold
And
on.
that's why
Hold on.
I'm
She did
not
not
reading.
interrupt you. I cannot have people interrupt each other. Everyone has an opportunity to speak on each issue. We have to do it in a way that I can hear each person. All right. So, Ms. Davis, on this case, I'm not seeing any exhibits. Am I just not looking in the right place?
I emailed it to the
No, Judge,
Hold on.
so it could be in that email address. Let me go check for
All right.
you. And then once it's in there, I could put it in for you.
All right. She's gonna go check to see if it went to that email address. So you said you paid $200 to fix the hot water heater. What
Yes,
happened?
yeah.
What was the tub?
Yes. And I purchased a stove. I paid $955.79. And the refrigerator that I purchased, the one when they bring it first, it was too small. I paid $647.99. And by it was small, I ordered a bigger one, and I had to pay $108.01
For
And-
what?
to get the bigger refrigerator because
$108 and what?
more. 100. The first one they bring, it was too small. So the
No,
first one,
just tell me that amount. It was 108. What was how much total? 108.
108 plus 647.99. Let me see.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And there's a lot of other stuff I did in the home. You know, I have so much losses because even I send pictures in with the floor every time it's gonna flood out, you know, and she keeps sending it even when it rains in the back door. The water gonna pour in. It destroy my stuff. I didn't upset at her. I tell her when somebody that gonna come, she gonna send different people to fix these things. They're not doing the right job. Okay. And there's a lot of stuff I pay for in the house.
Okay.
You know, because she send everything to the court, Your Honor. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I send everything. I have proof.
All right, and I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna get it. Or Ms.
Thank you,
Davis is
Judge.
gonna look
Thank
at
you,
it.
Your Honor.
Now I'm gonna turn to Ms. Abbott so that she can respond on this counterclaim that you made. So specifically, by Ms. Carmichael said you paid $200 to fix a hot water heater. The stove was $955.79. The refrigerator $647.99, and then an additional $108. What does your lease say, Ms. Abbott, with regards to refrigerators and stoves, or is there any provisions in your lease with dealing with appliances? You're on mute. You're on a phone, swipe left or right. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I got it. I'm not. I have to go through and see what it says about appliances, but I don't. To me, though, if you'll listen to what I'm saying, when Camille came to me, she said that she lived at Wellington Cove already, and she said that whoever owned the place where she lived in was selling it to an investor. And then she gave me a story about where she lived before, how they mistreated her and made her do this and that. And I feel like I'm being a victim of this now. And like when she said I was not told that she needed a new stove. If I knew the stove didn't work, I would have gotten a new stove. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten a new stove. I think we have different, we don't match well, because I'm not going to pay $1,000 for something that I can get for $200 or $300 that works. You know, there are three places in Lithonia that sell reduced price appliances, and that's where I get appliances for the townhouse as well as for the house that I live in.
Okay.
And what I did is I asked Camille, when she told me the refrigerator didn't work, I asked her, I believe, I said, will you go down to Asher Appliances and pick out the refrigerator that you want? And she said, no, I will not do that because I don't have transportation. It is literally walking distance, and there's a bus that goes right by there. So since she said no, I called, I think it was A1 Appliances or A&C, and I told Mr. Kraft, I said, I need a refrigerator at 2323 Wellington Circle. And he sent some, I asked her to pick it out, but she didn't. He sent his guys down there with the refrigerator. And then he called me about an hour later, fussing at me. He said, why didn't you tell me that lady's going to send the refrigerator back? I said, I didn't know she was going to send the refrigerator back. That is when she decided on her own to get a refrigerator. And she didn't tell me that the stove was out. If she told me the stove was out, I would have gotten a stove. I wouldn't have gotten the top of the line, which, maybe that's what she wants, but I would have gotten a stove and I would have had it delivered to her place. And I couldn't sleep if I thought she didn't have a refrigerator and a working stove. And about the bathtub, she never said anything to me that I remember about the bathtub until several months ago. And I did promise that I would get a new bathtub. I had someone from, I forget the name of the place. I had them come and do an estimate. The bathtub, well, she told me she preferred a stand-up shower. And I had them do an estimate, which I have all of these documents. I had them do an estimate for a bathtub. It was $3,000 something, and they did it for a stand-up shower. It was $5,000 something. So I think it was $5,000, might have been $4,000, but I told her that I was probably going to get the bathtub because it was more, it was a better price. And in the meantime, since she has been there, I had the HVAC system replaced. It by Reliable. I have all these documents by Reliable Heating and Air. It was, I guess, it was about $6,000 something, which I know that didn't matter, but I paid it off completely, because if I would have paid it in the amounts that they said in the however long it had been, come up to $10,000. I had it replaced. So if something happens to her system, I have to call somebody else, and PV Heating and Air is usually pretty good. There's another contractor who gave me a plumber who fixed the water heater at my house 2 years ago, and it still works. So I sent him to Camille's place to look at the water heat. This is what made me finally decide to quit putting up with her. I sent him to her place to look at the water heater. Maybe he made a mistake. And, contractors are not perfect. Okay. But he thought, I think between them, because they set up the time themselves, he thought that he had found the problem. But when he left, it was still a problem. I called him, and he said he would go back and look at it. He tried to call. As far as he told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but he said that he tried to call her from Monday through Friday. I'm at home thinking that the problem is taken care of, but he contacted me on Friday and said, if I had to go back and find this information, I will, and said that he'd been trying to call her all week and she never answered. He answered one time. She answered one time. Then he told me, then I called her and she said, well, I have to work or something. And I said, well, I need for you to set up a time, with him so that he can so he can figure out what it is and fix the problem. And he told me he was having surgery. This is beside the point, but it's disrespectful to me. He said he was having surgery that Monday and that he would be out for about 4 to 6 weeks. And also I had already paid him. And she and he scheduled a time for him to come on Sunday. And he said he would come and fix her problem Sunday after church, the day before he was having surgery. And he got there on Sunday and she wasn't there. She scheduled it. I didn't schedule it. She scheduled it with him. She was, when I talked to her, I said, well, he said you weren't there. And she said, well, I'm from a foreign country and, it's hard to get work. So I got called into work and I decided I needed to go to work. That's, and the thing about it, this is like maybe she doesn't like the contractors or whatever.
All right, I need you to pause, Miss Abbott. Miss Abbott, I need you to pause. I need to get an announcement, an update from Mediator Wright. All right.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, Miss Abbott, what happened to you? Can unmute yourself.
Okay, I was telling you, I thought that the hearing, whatever it's called, was at the courthouse, and I'm over here, and I have my cell phone, and I'm a thrift person. I have a $10 plan for Boost Mobile, and I guess it went out. And
Okay.
I'm at Chick-fil-A, and he kindly set me up on the Chick-fil-A Wi-Fi.
Oh, all right. Okay, good.
But I'm at 10% on my battery now. So,
All right. Well, I think we were getting, seemed like we were getting towards the end of the hearing. Was there any? You
I have a lot of
to Ms. Carmichael.
I have a lot of documents showing like that. She said I don't do anything. I installed an HVAC system. She talked about the door in the back. I had a storm door. Well, I had a storm door installed on the front. I had a ceiling fan. I had 2, maybe 3. I thought I only did 2 toilets, but I have receipts here for 3 toilets. The back door and I apologize for that dripping onto her stuff, but I'm not going to say, well, that didn't happen. I have Atlanta Home Remodelers. He came and he's a good doorman. It was $1,320, and he came and he replaced the French doors on the back. She told me not long ago she didn't have a fire extinguisher. I sent her fire blankets. I have from years ago, I have something that was done by High Priority Plumbing that was 600 something. I don't know what that is. And there was a couple of years ago, I think it was December 20.
A couple of years ago. Did you
Okay.
Do you submit any receipts to the court?
That, as far as I know, this wasn't what the case was, and I wasn't asked. But I can. I have
I don't need those receipts because she's not asking for.
Yeah, I just want her to pay the rent.
Not asking to be reimbursed for those items.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I'm paying for her to live there, and I don't mind doing it because that's how I am. But if you're not going to be cooperative with people, I'm not going to keep. I just one more thing. I said I would do the bathtub, and I changed my mind, and I told her I changed my mind because I'm not going to keep doing stuff for somebody who's lying and disrespecting the people and everything. I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm just not going to keep doing that. Why would you expect somebody to do that? Why would you lie? I mean, even there was a big thing that happened at her place where a pipe burst under the ground. And I wrote a letter to it's Berkshire Hathaway. I wrote a letter to the president, to Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and everybody else. And I had to have an attorney. I got a public adjuster.
All right, we're getting far afield. Based on the issues before me, this is what I'm going to find. As to the initial claim,
Okay, I'm sorry.
there is no dispute that April and May rent were not paid. So that is $1,600. Then, and Ms. Carmichael doesn't dispute that. Ms. Carmichael, however, did provide receipts, proof, documentation that she's bought items for the home that she should be reimbursed for.
But she decided to
Excuse
do
me,
that on
I
her own.
am making.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You were aware the refrigerator didn't work according to your own testimony. You told the defendant to pick out the refrigerator. You knew there was something wrong with the bathtub. You knew there was something wrong with a hot water heater. Per your own testimony, you knew these
No,
things.
I replaced the one.
Ma'am,
I'm sorry.
I am giving
I
my
apologize.
decision.
I'm sorry.
So if I look at the receipts that were provided by Ms. Carmichael, Ms. Abbott, you need to have your camera on.
I'm trying to be humble. I'm sorry.
That reaches, now her receipts total $1911.79. Okay.
Cool.
I know both parties made repairs to the home in different ways.
I have way more than repairs than that.
Miss Abbott.
She's a crook. I'm sorry.
Miss Abbott.
She's a crook. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do this.
So that offsets the rent of $1,600,
She's a crook.
leaving a balance of $311.79. There is $1,600 rent still owed for June, minus the $311.79. You will have to pay.
That's unbelievable.
You're staying till the end of June.
No, ma'am.
You'll have to pay rent in the amount of the judgment in the amount of $1,288.21.
Your Honor, can I say I'm leaving? I'm not staying anymore.
Right. When are you leaving?
Okay, is it possible I can leave either the 9th or the 2nd?
No, here's it. If you stay in the month, I'm going to give you
Okay.
June 2nd, 2024.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're still there. She is gonna apply for a writ of possession to take over the property back and have you evicted, okay?
Yes, ma'am. You said June 2nd?
June 2nd, 11:59 p.m.
Okay, by 11?
59 p.m. You need to be out of there, all right?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so that's the ruling of the court. And the repairs that were made do offset the rent for April and May. So there is no money owed for rent for April and May. All right, I will write an order up. And you'll both receive copies. All right, June 2nd, 11:59 p.m. You must be out.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're both excused. You may both log off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Okay.
welcome.